It's 5:17 in the morning. The city is still sound asleep, but Ethan Parker is wide awake, sitting on the edge of his bed staring at his phone. One notification after another lights up the screen: social media messages, news alerts, but none of them matter. What truly matters is the quiet, nagging voice inside his head, asking the same painful question it has for years. How long are you going to keep running from your real goal? Ethan is 27, living in a small apartment in Chicago. He's working a job he doesn't hate, but he definitely doesn't love either. From the outside, his life looks perfectly fine, but deep down he feels completely and utterly stuck. He used to have dreams, big ones. Dreams of building something meaningful, of proving to himself that he was capable of so much more. But over time, distractions had slowly taken control of his life. The comfort of routine, the trap of comparison, the paralyzing fear of failure, and the weight of other people's opinions. But that morning something was different. He didn't scroll through his feed. He didn't reply to any messages. Just turned off his phone, stood up, and walked over to the mirror. For the first time in what felt like forever, he looked himself in the eye and said out loud, "I'm done being distracted. Today, I'm choosing my goals." Years earlier, Ethan had one clear, burning ambition: to start his own digital marketing business. He loved the blend of creativity, strategy, and the thrill of building a brand from scratch. But life, as it does, didn't pause to let him chase that dream. Bills piled up. Responsibilities grew heavier. When he'd bring up quitting his stable job, his friends would just laugh. "Be realistic," they'd say. "Just play it safe," they'd warn. And for a long time, Ethan listened. And as he listened to their doubts, his own focus started to disappear. Every evening, instead of working on his skills, he'd binge-watch the latest shows. Instead of learning about his industry, he'd scroll endlessly through social media. Instead of building his future, he just waited. Days bled into months, and months somehow turned into years. Then, one evening, while visiting his father, a retired construction worker, Ethan noticed something hanging on the garage wall. It was an old, dusty, handwritten sign that read, "Where focus goes, energy flows." His father saw him looking at it and walked over. "Son," he said, "when I built houses, I never worried about the whole neighborhood at once. I focused on laying one single brick at a time perfectly. People don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they lack focus." That simple sentence hit Ethan like a lightning bolt. It stayed with him all night. The very next day, he made a decision that both terrified and excited him. He took out a piece of paper and wrote down his goal in big, bold letters: build a profitable digital marketing business in 18 months. Then, he did the part that most people avoid. Wrote down exactly what it would cost him. Less entertainment, fewer parties with friends, saying no to the easy comfort of his couch. He knew he'd probably be misunderstood by the people around him. He taped that paper right above his desk, where he couldn't ignore it. The first 30 days were brutal. While his friends and coworkers were relaxing after work, Ethan was studying. He was diving deep into SEO, copywriting, and paid advertising. And he failed. Constantly. His practice campaigns didn't work. His cold emails to potential clients went unanswered. The voice of self-doubt screamed in his head, far louder than any motivation he could muster. There were so many nights when he was just seconds away from quitting, from tearing that paper off the wall. But every single time he felt weak, he forced himself to look up and read his goal. And that's when he discovered something incredibly powerful. Motivation fades. It's a temporary spark. But focus. Focus builds discipline. And discipline is what carries you through the fire. He stopped chasing immediate results and instead focused entirely on the process. 1 hour of work a day soon became 2. 2 hours became 4. And eventually, putting in 4 hours of focused work after his day job became his new normal. 6 months later, something unexpected happened. A small local business reached out, needing his help. Then another one called, and then another. The income wasn't huge, not by a long shot, but it was something far more valuable. It was proof. It was proof that intense focus actually works. While other people were jumping from one shiny new idea to the next, Ethan stayed locked in on his one goal. He stopped comparing his slow, messy journey to the polished highlight reels he saw on social media. He unfollowed accounts that were just distractions. He started protecting his time like it was money because he realized it was even more valuable. He learned a hard but essential truth. You can have almost anything you want in this life, but you can't have everything all at once. You have to choose. 1 year after he taped that paper to his wall, Ethan walked into his boss's office with a calm confidence he'd never felt before. "I'm putting in my 2 weeks' notice," he said. There was no anger, no drama, just clarity. That night, he sat alone in his apartment. The very same apartment, but he felt like a completely different person. He wasn't chasing a dream anymore. He was building it brick by brick. The fear was still there, lurking in the background. But now, it was working for him, pushing him forward, not holding him back. 2 years after that 5:17 a.m. moment, Ethan stood on a small stage at a local entrepreneurship event, sharing his story. He ended his talk with a few words that made the entire room go silent. He said, "Most people don't fail because they lack ability or talent. They fail because they let distractions steal their focus. If you focus on your goals long enough, loudly enough, consistently enough, your life has no choice but to change." The audience erupted in applause, but Ethan barely noticed the noise. All he could think about was that one quiet moment in his apartment that started it all. If you're watching this right now, and you feel stuck, overwhelmed, or like you're falling behind in life, listen to me carefully. You, Dan T, need more time. You don't need a sudden burst of motivation. You need focus. Focus on your goals when no one is watching you. Focus when it's boring and repetitive. Focus when it's uncomfortable and you'd rather do anything else. Because one day you'll wake up and realize the life you once only dreamed about became your reality. And it all started the moment you decided to stop getting distracted. Focus on your goals. Everything else is just noise. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more. We'll see you in the next one.